Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. Let's talk today about spirituality, a topic which we all seem to be very interested in. However, a lot of us may not be able to understand what spirituality is. A lot of people take spirituality as being religious. Some people take spirituality as accepting or believing in all religions and not sticking to one. Some people talk about or think about spirituality or adhyatma as it has been described in our ancient texts, even in astrological texts, as that which is given by astrological placements, and by virtue of that one becomes spiritual. For some people, spirituality means looking at or believing in one highest form of energy and being in love with that spiritual energy and doing everything for that person, for that entity. Some people believe in spirituality as serving humanity, and serving humanity is spirituality rather than being religious. So all sorts of permutations, combinations, descriptions have been given for spirituality. Now, I don't claim that I'm an expert in spirituality, or I know what spirituality is all about, or I've attained spirituality. I will not make any of those claims. I will go purely as a student and as maybe an evangelist of astrology. I will put forth what the astrological texts are saying in terms of how spirituality can be seen and also attained through the help of astrological placements rather than guaranteed by astrological placements. So you can only be helped by some placements in your horoscope, and virtue of the strengths which are given by those placements and the higher probability that are given to you by virtue of these placements, you may be able to reach a higher realm of spirituality and or attain spirituality. So let's see what the astrological texts say about spirituality. Now, various texts like the Brihad Jataka or the Brihad Samhita or the Brihad Parashara Hora Shastra or the Hora Ratnam or the Hora Sara, the Phaladipika or the Kalidasa Kalamrita. If you look at all of these texts, most of them are in line or are more or less agreeing to that spirituality or the spiritual element is more related to Jupiter and or Ketu rather than any of the planets. To the extent that Ketu or Jupiter signifies spirituality, none of the other planetary placements signify. But firstly, let us understand what does spirituality mean in the light of these ancient texts. Spirituality in the light of these texts means that you understand what the highest energy is and that you accept that you are also part of that highest energy, because all matter, everything comes from energy. You are also one part of the energy, and all of us come from the supreme energy. So first one is acceptance that we all come from one entity, and that is the spiritual thread that connects all of us. Second is to believe in that spiritual entity, that supreme energy which is the creator of all of us, and that we are a part of it, and our ultimate aim or goal is to go and meet with that spiritual energy or the highest form of energy. And third is to submit to what spirituality or spiritualism means by virtue of understanding what this existence of ours is, what this life cycle or these various cycles of life are for, understanding the reason for that, and then using this understanding to be able to raise ourselves to the higher realm, in principle to try and attain the highest level of spirituality and to meet the Supreme Lord. So submission, acceptance, belief and submission is the path to spirituality, coupled with action. So on one side, your belief, your faith in the highest form of energy, and submitting to that energy in action and in thought and attitude is what spirituality is all about. So what does philosophy mean? It means that first of all, if we accept that we all come from one entity, one supreme energy, then all these lines of caste, creed, religion, color, all of them will be dropped, because we will all know and believe that all of us come from the same energy, so we all are one. So automatically, because of all these walls falling down, it will be easy to love each other, it will be easy to relate to each other, and easy to also respect and appreciate each other as part of us. So not only should we see us as a part of the highest form of energy, but everybody around us, all of us are part of each other, rather than just the supreme energy alone. And through all of us being a part of each other, we are also part of that supreme energy, the highest form of energy. Second thing which is important in spirituality is to understand that spirituality comes from not only the belief or submitting but also accepting. So when a certain result comes in our lives, we should take that result as coming directly from the supreme energy and in line of our actions. So the supreme energy has given us a free will, allowed us to take actions in line of what the belief that we cultivate. So the beliefs are to some extent given to us at the time of our birth through our parents and through our society that we grow in. However, enough of free will is given to all of us to make our own choices in the light of what we shape our beliefs as. So we shape our own beliefs. If we believe that honesty and integrity is good for us, then only will we be or try to be honest people as much as possible. If we believe that it is healthy to have healthy lifestyle and to have a healthy regimen, then and it is good for our body, it's good overall for our well-being, then we will automatically go in the line of those foods and those actions which help us being healthy. So it starts with all the belief system. If you don't believe right, if you don't believe in a certain entity, then that path will not be taken by us. So the first thing starts from the belief that we are part of one entity, and our actions lead to that entity, and we should submit. After whatever we do, we should then submit to the result that we get from the supreme energy as good for us and overall help that will help us for our development. So taking action in the light, and then where the result that we get from what our actions are, what our belief systems are, submitting to the results for that. So if we, for example, if we are very honest, we work very hard for a competitive exam and we sit in the competitive exam, but for some reason we don't make it through. So taking that as the will of God, the result given to us by the supreme energy, as either that result is not for us or the time for a more positive result or success in the competitive exam has not come for us. Accepting that and then moving forward in life, whether you want to sit for the exam or do whatever. So and believing that we are part of the supreme energy, working in that direction, taking action and submitting to the results that are given to us. And that's why sometimes it is an anomaly that astrology talks about spirituality. Though the moment you use astrology, you are less and less spiritual. Why? Because then you are not submitting to the will of God, but you are using astrology to gain money or to know when my money will come, when I will get married. So the moment you get into all sorts of astrological predictions, then you are not submitting to the overall the action and the result that the supreme entity wants to give us. So this is an anomaly which we need to consider. However, it is a good thing because astrology tells us whether we have a higher chance of being spiritual and attaining spiritual enlightenment and elevation spiritually, and ultimately maybe reach the ultimate goal of being spiritual, which is moksha, or being one with the highest form of energy. So what do astrological texts tell us? One, of course, they relate it to Ketu and Jupiter. However, a lot of combinations give us a higher degree of belief in spirituality or take us towards spiritualism. Now, what are these placements? The Brihat Parashar Hora Shastra clearly says that Ketu is a very important planet for spiritual and being a spiritual entity or spiritualism. And why is it so? One is because if you see, Jupiter is a planet which is a planet of wisdom, and Jupiter is a planet which talks about using a wisdom to move towards what we want to achieve in life. But that path of Jupiter is not towards material benefits, it is always towards high elevation of a spiritual being. and that's why Jupiter also rules not only the 9th house of religion or spirituality, but also the 12th house, which is the house of giving up, negation, and through the negation, through the giving up, moving towards the supreme being. And the last part of our life, because we have come full circle before we move on. So that's why the 12th house is the most important house, because it also represents not only the Pisces energy and the elevated energy and moving in the higher realm towards the supreme entity, but also it is also called the house of giving up, negation, all losses. From a material perspective, it is called the house of losses. And that's why, because Jupiter is related to negation or giving up and accepting the supreme energy, and Ketu is a planet of negation. Ketu, wherever it sits, it denies us the maximum results out of the house and out of that sign. Also, because Ketu is not the head, Ketu does not have a mouth. It is Rahu which has the greed and the hunger, whereas Ketu does not have the mouth, so it is not hungry for anything. It is the planet of giving up, and it wants to understand, because Ketu doesn't have that supreme brain or that greed and hunger. So in trying to give up and then through negation and moving away from things, Ketu wants to reach the higher realm and to understand. And in that light, it is quite similar to Jupiter in terms of not chasing materialism but staying away from it, and then trying to use our higher energy, or to move towards a higher energy using spirituality. And that's why Ketu and Jupiter both have been described as planets which relate to spirituality. And that's why when it is said that when Ketu and Jupiter come together either in the Lagna or in the 12th house, they give a very high degree of spiritual endeavor or spiritual faith, spiritual belief, and also spiritual attitude to the native. So this is one placement by virtue of which we can say that this individual who has Ketu or Jupiter in the Lagna or in the 12th house may move towards, if he wants to, because action is also determined your free will, may move towards a more spiritual existence rather than more material existence, because you will not chase materialism, you will not chase prosperity with Ketu being in align with Jupiter, but you will move towards spiritualism. And a lot of such planetary placement, other placements have also been given where you can move towards being a more spiritual person. A lot of these results have been described as related to the 9th house, because the 9th house is not only the house of spirituality but also dharma. Now dharma means not only religious rituals or religious duties. Dharma means what is your duty, what you need to move towards as something which is expected as your duty, as your responsibility to be done. So that's why 9th house is also the house of spirituality, because it also moves you towards the higher realm as a duty. Your duty is to move towards the higher realm, because you need to understand yourself, and through understanding of yourself you understand the supreme energy, and then you will be with that. That's why the 9th house is very important. 9th house is also called as the house which determines or represents the father, and that's why when sun gets into the 9th house, especially if it's the Pisces, that is also a strong sign of spirituality. Jupiter also in the 9th house is a strong sign of spirituality. Ketu in the 9th house is also a strong form of spirituality. But if any two entities come together, especially if Jupiter or Ketu come together either in the 9th house or 12th or the Lagna, then the person believes in spirituality, spiritual existence, where he believes in overall goodness of humanity, when he believes that the supreme energy wants us to help each other, understand each other, and through helping and understanding each other, understanding the supreme energy and moving towards that. So such combinations of Ketu and Jupiter, or Jupiter and Sun in the 9th house, are given to given that strength or the probability that one may move towards spirituality. You'll be surprised that even Saturn in the 9th house has been talked about as a placement where the person can move towards spirituality as well, especially if it's a very positive signs which are beneficial or represented by or owned by or lauded by beneficial planets. Any sign which is ruled by Venus or Mercury, or even the signs of Jupiter, especially Pisces, if Saturn is sitting in the 9th house related to any of these signs, then the person has a chance and an opportunity to move towards being a more spiritual and more enlightened person, and through that moving towards spirituality. And the actions of why Saturn has also been talked about as a planet which can represent or take you towards spirituality, with Saturn's placement in the 9th house, say for example related to Pisces. It is also because Saturn is also the planet of losing and of grief, and through the grief that the person experiences, he becomes a more wise person. So through the grief given by Saturn, you strengthen your Jupiter if Saturn is placed in the 9th house, because it represents spirituality, it represents knowledge, so, and it represents religion, and it represents learning, higher education, moving up in the higher realm. So that's why some planetary placements are given to denote or help us move towards spirituality, from what spirituality has been explained by the Shastras. Mercury in Capricorn also has been talked about as one of the placements for spirituality, because spiritualism, because Mercury is the planet of analysis. Capricorn is the planet, is the sign of dharma, of work and doing a karma. So being very analytical, but at the same time also communicating, talking, because Mercury also represents communication. So talking and spreading spirituality as your duty, as your karma, is also, that's why that combination has also been called as that. Ketu in the 3rd house has also been described as a planet which may move you towards more spirituality. Why? 3rd house is the house of effort and also very high energy, generally to achieve in life. So when Ketu is placed there, your achievement in life are not from material gains, but to move away from the material achievements in life, but towards a more spiritual attainment and giving up of the worldly things, and not using that energy for worldly gains. That's why Ketu in the 3rd house also represents a spiritual form or a spiritual approach towards life. A lot is also said about the Scorpio sign, and that is a very surprise, because Scorpio ascendant natives also have been called as people who may be given a chance at spirituality. Why? Because your Mars represents or rules the Scorpio sign, and Mars is the also the ruler of the Lagna in the Kalpurush horoscope, in the Kalpurush Kundli. So a Scorpio ascendant native brings all the information which is hidden, which is also about mystical information, and takes one to the higher realm. So a strong Scorpio ascendant native with a very strong Jupiter and Ketu and a strong 12th house has also been described as a sign which may take you towards spirituality. Then the first pada of Revati. Revati is a very important nakshatra, as we know, and a nakshatra Pisces, and if you are born in the first pada of Revati, then also a person has been described as a high chance of being a more spiritual person and be taking interest in spirituality. So in such a manner, a lot of placements, signages, combinations have been talked about, but I've considered that based on my experience that all these signs will be help only to attain spirituality. Moon also supports the native. That's why it's also been called that if moon is in exaltation and sun, the Lagna is very powerful, and both sun and Jupiter are in the Lagna, then there is a very high chance that the person may be very spiritual also, and also spread spirituality or spread goodness, or do the welfare of humanity towards his spiritual actions and his beliefs. So it's important that while we understand that this probability is given to us, that the action of us should also be in line with the attitude that we are here to serve each other, and through serving each other we serve ourselves, and through serving each other and serving ourselves we are serving the supreme energy, and understanding the supreme energy by understanding ourselves, and then through that action raising ourselves to a higher realm of understanding and reaching various levels and traversing those levels for ultimately be with the spiritual highest spiritual energy. And that's why not having materialistic pursuits, not moving towards materialism, but moving towards that which has been given to us to understand, to reach higher and to give up on the worldly pleasures, do our duty, use spiritual existence and spiritual values to serve each other, serve humanity, and to submit to the will of the Lord, rather than being angry, cynical, upset, sad, being submissive and willing to submit to the will of the Lord after putting our effort, after being the attitude which takes us through serving other people, where we carry ourselves with integrity, we carry ourselves with values, without harming anybody, without wanting to take from anyone, without being influenced with the Rahu energies, without being manipulative, without being slimy, and through leading a more spiritual existence, leading the life through a more moral existence, ethical existence, and living a life with integrity and serving humanity, and through that reaching the highest will, and then maybe through that reaching moksha. So these actions coupled with beliefs of being submissive and doing goodness for humanity is what spiritualism is all about. So friend, this is my analysis about how spirituality has been seen or given as a potential for the person rather than as a guarantee in horoscopes. Please look at how your placements are and use whatever energies, little to high, that you have been given for a more spiritual existence, and maybe through actions, even if your planetary placements are not given, being patient, being helpful, being supportive, breaking the walls of separation between us and others in terms of caste, creed, religion, culture, community, and serving each other with without expecting any reward in return, and as a service to the highest form of energy, and submitting to whatever results the spiritual energy gives us in return, is what we all should move towards, and that is the best way to attain spirituality as well. So friends, this is my analysis of spirituality in the horoscope and in a Kundli. So please like this video, please share this video, please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my new video is coming. Please subscribe to my channel. If you are looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Until we meet some other time, this is your friend, astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.